Inaros isn't a frame that can be considered divisive in pretty much any way whatsoever. It's either you love him or you hate him. There's rarely any in between. And a large majority of the community used to hate him. It's just now it's kind of in between on those who still hate him for what he once was and those who played him and realized that he's different now. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about what you should expect from Inaros, why you should play him. So, first things first, what you should expect the most overall over anything else is immortality over speed and destruction. Now, a lot of people want nuking frames, and Inaros can certainly nuke, but it requires you to have a nice melee weapon. So rather than expecting nuking and speed, expect to be able to survive the heat death of the universe. You can survive anything with Inaros. He has absurd survivability with huge health pools, constant sustainability, and an extremely forgiving gameplay. So long as you have on over 700 armor and arcane persistence regardless of rank, you can be surviving in level cap with ease, even if your build is 5 mods big. Now, if you want to be nuking, you have to have Elemental Sandstorm, his augment mod, and then a decent melee weapon that can preferably slam attack, because slam attack will get you those nice big crit numbers that everyone loves. Now, when it comes to slam attacking, your melee weapon will be doing all the work. It's hard to say that his abilities allow for the nuking, but when you slam attack, sure, you can kill enemies with ease, but look at the radius. If you're in the big room, you're not going to be killing all these enemies. There's going to be quite a few left alive. Inaros' nuking revolves solely around casting Sandstorm, grouping all the enemies up together, so now that they're all in one nice big circle, when they're finally on the ground, you can just do that nice slam attack and mess them all up. Now, if your melee weapon isn't that powerful, you're better off using his 4th ability first, because it applies corrosive status effect. This kind of armor strips them a little bit, and then you can Sandstorm, and so they're being procced with the elemental damage of whatever your melee was, because Elemental Sandstorm has a 100% chance of inflicting status effects based on the damage types of the equipped melee weapon. Essentially, your melee weapon becomes a stat stick. So build it up for whatever you want. I have mine built for Viral and Heat, and then obviously just slam attacks with Seismic Wave. The one mod is all you really need. So, with his ability to nuke, his ability to stay alive endlessly, which I almost forgot to even completely mention. While in Sandstorm, you are completely immortal, you can't take damage. While also in Sandstorm, anytime you hit an enemy, you start gaining life back. This is incredibly important. Immortality and gaining your health back, what's not to love about that? Your 3rd ability, Scarab Shell, while this does drain your life, so be careful of where you use it, it also gives you armor. And gaining armor is incredibly important for your own survivability, as I already mentioned. And now from here, you could either just use Sandstorm again or use Desecrate. Desecrate will give you lifesteal. Now, it blinds the enemies, a little bit of crowd control, but gaining health back is the important thing. Of course, the health you gain back is not as much as if you just use Sandstorm, went through a crowd of enemies, you'd get it all back instantly in that case. So that is why, my fault. Desiccation, not Desecrate. That's why Desiccation is one of the most subsumed abilities on Inaros. So, with 3 abilities for survivability, his 4th ability counts as crowd control because the enemies do start flailing around, unable to do pretty much anything while they're being attacked by it. His 2nd ability also for crowd control. His 1st ability, a little bit of crowd control, not too much. Blinding the enemies doesn't offer much in terms of crowd control. He has insane survivability with some amazing utility for solo gameplay, being able to heal yourself indefinitely for as long as you want, being able to survive anything, and being able to group and crowd control. All you need for him is a solid melee weapon and you're golden. My Inaros, I can comfortably go into any Archimedia if I want to, and I'd be able to come out just fine. Of course, the only problem is my energy upkeep, because without any energy mods, I'm pretty much always low on energy. It is by far the weakest part of my Inaros build, but I don't have any Forma. To make up for this, if you're looking for a build and you want to copy mine for some reason, I highly suggest you make your own. You'd probably make it 10 times better, but I'd be adding on Primed Flow for max energy, and then Hunter Adrenaline, which I'd have to buy it, but it does give you energy back when you take damage. And Inaros, essentially being a health tank, always takes damage. I'd always be topped out on energy. So, with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. You should play Inaros if you want a slower paced frame, somebody that is pretty aggressive for melee combat, extremely comfortable to play, and just all around forgiving for newer players and extremely self-sufficient. Like I mentioned, he doesn't have much in terms of energy, but if you throw on just Prime Flow and then Hunter Adrenaline, you can never run out of energy. And so, with that being said, that is pretty much just about it. So what do you think about Inaros? Do you love him? Do you hate him? Is he even worth it to play? Because while he is amazing for new players and solo players, there are other frames that can do what he does, and they don't have to rely on a melee weapon that they might want to use or might not. And with that being said, it's just about it. Until next time.